You're listening to the Decentralized Talk Podcast, your crypto connection.
Decentralized Talk. Decentralized Talk.
All right, guys. Welcome to another outstanding episode of the Decentralized Talk Podcast. I am coming at you live from Killeen, Texas. We are out here in the suburbs of the Austin area, and we are talking to you about cryptocurrencies. So lay back, relax, and get ready to get bucked.
Who's doing the fucking?
That's not what he said.
Right now, it's Bitcoin.
Oh.
Right now, BTC is...
No, I would say BTC
fucking
is
all of
not
us.
fucking people as near as bad as all the altcoins. Think about all those Ethereum hodlers.
Yeah, or how about the Omisego hodlers?
Ooh.
It is hobbler.
Oh.
We're hobblers now.
Yeah, we've gone
Hobble
from
dobble.
We've gone from hodl to hobble. You're right. Yeah, those poor Omisego. Yeah, that was a rough one too.
We were up at $28. It is now
Sinfin hodlers.
$3.
Yeah.
$3.20.
Man. Yeah, it's been a rough year.
Well, you know, every time the market dived with OMG, the lowest it would go is somewhere around $7.
Until it went to 3.
Until it went to 3. It just always went to 7. I mean, honestly, I made the classic mistake. I thought but not OMG.
Yeah, but not that one. I mean, I still like the message or what Omisego was all about.
Oh.
Hey, you don't hear a lot about Omisego. About the team and the...
You never really did.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You never really did. But I think there's this big speculation in the beginning that OMG was going to be partnering with McDonald's.
Yeah.
You guys remember that? And because the OMG wallet, which is like PayPal for some parts of the Southeast Asia.
Yep.
That company had partnered with McDonald's. And OMG, the coin, was kind of like a pet project of that, and they weren't really related. Nobody really knew, and they weren't really giving off any details about how they were related. So there's a lot of speculation drove OMG up through the roof, and then I made the awesome decision
to hodl that shit.
Yeah, because I believed in it. I made the mistake of believing. I what do you call it? I fell in love.
Hey, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. You know, a lot of people believed in Amazon back in the day too, and it crashed with the .com bubble too. But it stayed resilient and withstood. I bet those people that hung on are sure glad they did.
Yeah.
I bet they're not.
Like our Cardano hodlers.
They're not. Yeah, they're probably not when they're driving their freaking Lambos around. They're probably like, stupid Amazon. All it did was make me millions of dollars.
No money, more problems, bro.
Lambos.
No money, no problems. Everybody knows that. Everybody who hodled Amazon now has a lot of money, and i.e., they have more problems.
Peter Saddington bought a Lambo.
With Bitcoin.
I mean, some people are buying it or they'd be out of business.
Peter Saddington has a podcast now. Unfortunately, we're called Decentralized Talk.
I saw that. He's called Decentralized Radio.
Yeah. How convenient.
Probably because Decentralized Talk was taken.
Yeah, probably because he's copying us, obviously.
Yeah.
Come on the show, Peter. Say you're not.
Say you're not.
Prove it, man.
Prove it. He's going to be like, who the fuck is this?
Come on, Doge Lord. Come on, Doge Lord.
Never even hear the show to say who is this.
Oh, yeah, he listens every week because he's like, these bastards have my name.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted Decentralized Talk. So how are you guys doing? How's the families? Yeah, for you guys that don't know, Brandon has like 18, I think, not going on 19 kids, right?
Yeah, I'm basicly like we're basically like having a litter.
Like
the old woman in the shoe.
Yeah, one of those like.
We kind of are like the old woman in a shoe. So instead of an old woman, I'm a guy. I'm not old.
Old man in
I
the
don't
shoe.
have a shoe either, but
You both have very young children. Doesn't
I only have one though. I don't have.
yeah.
child.
He's going on almost a year now, right?
Yeah, he'll be a year in 5 days.
But
Oh,
Prato's
no
son
kidding.
looks identical to him.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of P's son the other day, and it just looked like a fuzzy picture of P,
You know,
like P without a beard.
yeah. Everybody says he looks like my wife, but no. So this, I wouldn't say it irritated me a little, but
That means
we
it
dressed him
irritated
up,
you.
we dressed him up as Bam Bam for Halloween, and everybody thought he was Fred Flintstone.
Oh yeah, I saw it. I
That would
thought it was
irritate
Bam
me.
Bam. I knew that was
Yeah.
Bam Bam.
Yeah, he's obviously Bam Bam.
Dude, obviously Bam Bam, but like 99, y'all are the only two people that didn't say Fred Flintstone.
I mean, it's in the
I'll have to
same
post
family.
a picture.
It's in
Yeah.
the same family.
No, it's not. Bam Bam was Barney's kid. Pebbles
Oh.
is Fred's.
Yeah, but I think that
Bam Bam was actually adopted.
I think Bam Bam was the illegitimate child of Wilma.
No, Bam Bam was adopted.
Of
This was a big
Barney's
thing on
adopted.
Twitter. This was a big thing on Twitter like a couple months ago. Bam Bam was adopted, and then somebody posted like the episode where he showed up in like a dinosaur egg and it cracked open.
Huh.
Because of course, you know
And
they
there was
sleep in,
adoption
you know what I mean?
papers in it.
Well, yeah, like they sleep in.
It was a
they sleep
bill
in
for
separate beds.
$40,000.
40,000 clams.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sleep in separate beds. So
Yeah,
they were trying to do like the birth of little Bam Bam, and then I'm sure somebody on the network was like, you can't say the child was born.
Yeah.
That would mean a vagina was involved. And penises.
We can't have American
penises.
children knowing
Can't have
about
penises and
vaginas.
vaginas.
Vaginas are
America.
evil.
Obviously.
What do you think is some kind of French Euro show? This is the Stone Age, damn it.
You know what show we were watching the other day is Dinosaurs. Do y'all remember that?
Oh
Hell
yeah.
not the mama.
Not the mama.
I don't. You know, it's crazy when you look back. Think about that phrase, "not the mama," and then like everybody was into that. That was hilarious to people.
Oh yeah.
And you think back and you're like, well, I explain that to somebody who wasn't part of that generation. Explain it to like find somebody who's like 20 years old right now and be like, hey,
Not the mama.
not the mama. And just watch them just wait for like, what is that?
Yeah,
What the hell are you
No,
talking about?
like, hey, not the mama. Ah.
I just remember now looking back, like the baby was really creepy looking. Like the animatronics or puppets or whatever they used there were really, really creepy looking.
Yeah. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird show. It's basically Roseanne with dinosaurs.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah, it was. I mean, it kind of was similar to that.
It was like a lower middle class American family.
Yeah.
He was like a construction worker.
Yep.
He knocked trees down.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
That's exactly right. He pushed
He's a
trees.
dinosaur.
Yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
was like
I
a
watched like 6 episodes the other day.
What?
Well, maybe not all in the same day, but like that's what I've been putting on when I go to sleep. Is just
Okay, I got a show for you guys. Do you remember the show that was like it was like a little girl and she was a robot? She was like a she was a robot. I don't know. She was a AI. She was I don't know. She would like vacuum and stuff in the house or whatever, but she's the main character of the show, but it was like a little girl and she was a robot.
Uh-uh.
Can't remember the name of the show.
That's kind of ringing a bell.
It's not called Trading Places. It's called
Oh, yep. I definitely know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Small Wonder.
Small Wonder. That was it. Yeah. And it had
Yeah.
the theme song that was great. I don't remember what the theme song was, but it was a hook, bro.
I've never seen that show. Oh, it looks like it reminds me of like Mork and Mindy style. That was
Oh
an
yeah,
old
for
show.
sure. It's definitely that era. We used to watch it on Stars. I lived in South Korea at the time, and so we got all these Euro channels, and it was on Stars Network.
Oh man, see, y'all had cable back in the day. I didn't have cable till I was in college. I didn't have AC until I was in college.
Where did you live?
In the country.
Yeah, but you didn't have AC in
No.
Texas?
Well, you know what's even worse is we had AC, but my dad wouldn't let us turn it on because it used too much money.
Now that I can believe. That I can see.
Yeah.
I can see a Texas dad being like, I don't know.
It costs too much money. Negative Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Huh.
Do you guys remember Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
No, not the Hasselhoff. Ghost
Yeah.
Rider. It came on Saturday mornings.
Ghost Rider. Yes.
Yeah, WRIT.
Yep. We used to watch it in school.
I always thought that was crazy because it was always like I could not relate to it at all because it was like an inner city and like all the kids were like they were like hip kids with like their hip cool clothes. They had like paint on them and stuff. And they're like, "Oh, what's up, Ghost Rider?" And they're talking to obviously a ghost. That was weird. Couldn't relate to that either.
Well, I used to talk to ghosts all the time. And then it turned out Bruce Willis was dead. And I was just like, damn.
Hey, dude, that's pretty good. M. Night Shyamalan makes one dope-ass movie, I See Dead People. For the rest of his life, makes total garbage. And
everybody says that, man. He makes good movies. You guys hate on that. Signs was a great movie.
Signs was not a great movie. It was all right.
Signs is a good movie.
How many times have you seen Signs? How many times have you watched Signs?
Once. No, more than that. Definitely, probably like.
You watched Signs more than once?
Yeah, Signs is a good movie.
Why would you ever watch an M. Night Shyamalan movie more than once? You know the ending. What was it like? It's not cool anymore. You're like, oh yeah, no, he's dead.
Still, it's good tension, good acting.
It's tension though because you see it. Like you're like,
it's just. Which one was Signs?
I think it's a good movie. The Alien.
The base
Village.
Pulling away.
The Village.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, the Village.
Yeah, see, I like The Village too. I thought it was like compelling and confusing, and
it was interesting until once again, like you see it one time, and then it's like.
Yeah, I don't think I watched The Village more than once. The Village was like the twist ending was so big that like it's kind of not good after the first one. And then there was like Lady in the Lake. That one, it started getting worse and worse.
Devil, remember that one with the elevator?
Oh, that was not good. Yeah, that one was not good.
I didn't see that one. I just
Avatar was just terrible.
Avatar was not Shyamalan.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. It was Michael.
No, I'm talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Oh, it's like anime, right?
Yeah, but they did a live action one, and M. Night Shyamalan directed it.
Yeah.
I also thought.
Yeah. It was like a competitor of Harry Potter. It was like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That movie with Marky Mark that he did, I think, could have been good.
What was that?
What?
After Earth? No.
It's like the forgetting or the happening, I think, right? Yeah,
the happening. Yeah.
Remind me of The Happening. What was The Happening?
Unbreakable was good.
Unbreakable was good.
Oh, Unbreakable.
I'm ready.
Really
aren't they doing sequels to that? And then they're supposed to be like all kind of other characters and stuff.
Yeah. See why you hating on M. Night Shyamalan? He
Unbreakable was good.
He's made a few bad movies, but he's made a few good ones too.
Wayward Pines was pretty good too.
It's more hate than
a lot of very bad movies.
Split.
Ooh,
oh yeah, that was
Split
good.
Was good. Split was very good. Oh, Split was the prequel to Unbreakable. That's right. Split
Glass is the new one.
Glass. That's right, Mr. Glass. That's the character. Yeah. Okay. Let me take all of that back.
Yeah. See?
Let me just step back.
I mean, he's like batting 500. You know, he's made some good ones. He's made some shit ones.
Ugh.
All right. So yeah, crypto, right? So how do you guys feel about cryptocurrency? I mean, it's been a long year. There's been a lot of bear shit going on. You know,
so that's a perfect example.
Boring.
About the same as I feel about M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, exactly, dude. You're right. I feel the same way. That's why. Why is the conversation not like solely about crypto right now? Because crypto right now is shitting the bed, and I hate to. I mean, dude, it is what it is. I mean, I was pretty dyed in the wool. Crypto lover. I think all of us got into crypto relatively well. I'd say we got into crypto pretty significantly before January of 2018.
Yeah,
I don't know that it's crap in the bed. It's just in a lull right now. It's
I
like
think so too.
it's like it's not
It's
doing
slump.
anything.
If
If you
Sideways.
compare it to its all-time high, yeah, it looks like it's shit in the bed. But I
It's up
think
and it's down, but it's not going anywhere.
for the people that are getting, like, say you just now are hearing about cryptocurrency and you're just getting in the market now, I mean, it's not a bad time to get in. I don't think it'll go much lower than what it is right now.
So for me, the biggest issue is that, like, so for instance, Linda Coin. I love Linda Coin. I mine Linda Coin. I'm in the process of acquiring a node for Linda. Linda gets accepted onto a major exchange. They pump it for a couple days before, which is normal to do.
Is IDEX considered a major exchange? I saw them post that. I mean, what? Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
But I just don't. I saw them say they were getting posted. What constitutes a major exchange?
Just the word major.
Well, no. They put the volume on there. They stipulate the volume, multiple millions of transactions daily, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But I don't know. When I think of a major exchange, I'm thinking Binance, Bittrex,
BitMEX, maybe.
BitMEX, maybe
BitThumb.
Coinbase.
I'd rather not own BitMEX. I don't want people shorting this thing.
Now, there's a lot of things with Bitcoin that could happen. Say Bakkt comes around and it doesn't increase the volume. That's
Explain Bakkt.
But yeah, okay. So what Bakkt is?
Back to back.
It's basically a regulated U.S. based futures exchange that has like physically delivered Bitcoin contracts, futures contracts, coupled with physical warehousing. So they
This already exists, or this is
custodian services too. No, December 12th is when they will start issuing the futures contracts.
Cool.
So the word on the streets, the speculation about that is that that will entice more institutional investors to get into the space.
Yeah, I can't imagine that it wouldn't. So okay, this sounds good. This to me reminds me of like a something big. The crazy thing is though, like Twitter's quiet, Telegrams are quiet, Discords are quiet, Facebook is quiet, media is quiet. It goes back to what's that quote that we
That's
always
what happens
have
in a bear market.
from Berkshire Hathaway guy?
I don't know. What's the quote?
When everybody's running in, run away, and when everybody's running away, run in, or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, so we should be running in.
Yeah, so this is the time, honestly, this is the time we should be running in. This is the lull. This is the point. So today we're recording this on early November. We'll just say early November. So, I mean, if your gut is right, I think the gut play right now is to go deep.
Penetrate.
Maybe.
Penetrate.
I mean, just a little bit more on the Bakkt.
Out.
Is that its parent company is ICE, Intercontinental.
Let me pull it out real quick.
You know anything about ICE, Prater?
I know.
Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement.
Yeah.
Abolish ICE, bro.
Crystal meth.
I thought abolish ICE meant get rid of meth.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think that dead air is powerful.
No, ICE is basically a financial exchange. So they trade, buy and sell stocks, or just like the NASDAQ or something like that.
ICE exchange. Who hasn't been there?
All the time.
International
I mean, so you got like the S&P 500, you got the New York Stock Exchange,
And you got
and
ice.
the ICE.
Nice.
But so, and they've already partnered with Microsoft and Starbucks to be. Starbucks will be the first major merchant to work with Bakkt on ways to convert their digital assets into U.S. dollars for use at Starbucks. So, I mean, this is already a done deal.
I'll tell you this.
And I think I want to say we talked about it.
I don't think anything's a done deal. I don't believe anything's a done deal until let me see the cash. Let me see it liquid. Let me see it liquid. That's a done deal.
Well, I guess we'll see it on December 12th. But what I'm thinking is like if it doesn't bring in the volume that's expected, Bitcoin might drop further. And then if the ETF gets denied in 2019, I say it probably drops all the way down to 4,000. That's my guess.
Yeah, well, real quick, let me go back to Linda.
Any chance to pump your coin?
Zenfin. Check out Zenfin. Please buy Zenfin.
On this episode of Zenfin.
On this episode of Don't Jump Out of a Window, Zenfin. Don't be like Robin Williams.
Is Zenfin at zero yet?
Well, it's below. I mean, it's below.
Below zero.
Below zero. It's gone negative now.
It's multiple factors of zero.
It's gone negative.
It's not negative. You actually have to. Zenfin actually has to pay you to get some. At this point. No. So with Linda. So just let me give the example of Linda. So I already let everybody know I already expressed that I'm an owner in Linda, so you can take it for what you want. But I'm just this is what I know.
Casual shilling, guys.
A little casual shilling. So, bye, Linda. So, anyways, the issue that I'm having is that it shows up on this exchange that is not a top 5 exchange, but it's a top 50 exchange. And well, I mean it's better
than bottom 50.
It's better than bottom 50, and it's better than the bottom 1,000.
Yeah.
So this happens, the coin goes up from about 0.0013, rockets up to 0.0014, and
Should have sold.
and it just, to me, it's frustrating, and I think a lot of people in the market are feeling this frustration because your coin or your project that you're invested in. And the other thing that's so crazy about crypto is that it's such an emotional investment, right? So a lot of people are playing the market, but there are many crypto investors who are like, oh man, this coin is going to change the world because it's going to change the way that people get on a subway train or whatever the fucking specific thing that it does. And they really buy into that. And they're like, oh, I drive the subway every day and I know this coin would just totally change that. And I'm totally bought into it. And so they buy in it. And then the coin's like, oh, we got listed on this great exchange. And then, we got this new developer that came on board, and he's a Facebook guy, and he's from these Fortune 500 companies, and he's this executive at this place, and he's from this brain trust, and now we've got these great group of advisors and all this stuff, and the fucking coin continues to do nothing.
I'm sold.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you think, but I mean, that's my whole
buy
thing.
this subway coin.
So, yeah, it's at www.decentralizedtalk.com.
All right.
Check it out. And so I think that's what's frustrating a lot of people is that last week I spent defending so hard that there are no whales and market manipulation, but this week I don't know. I guess I feel like it's so frustrating that when a coin does something really spectacular, like in a traditional stock market, when you hear really good news on a coin or really good news on a stock, it bumps up a little bit. You get a little pump, you get a little something happening. in the crypto market right now, it's like everything is like suppressed. It's very frustrating.
I mean, I think a lot of that is just the volume is down, way down, and so you'll get little bitty pumps, but it's just back in back in December, January time, any news would just skyrocket a coin 20%, and and then dump. But now the volume's so low, it's like there's just not that many people even reading those that even knows that it was listed on exchange. So the few people that own Linda or interested in Linda or even see that it's getting listed on the coin are people that are real deep into the crypto space or day traders or swing traders.
Okay, so so this brings up an important question. We're talking about crypto futures.
Yep.
Let's say you had to pick up Bitcoin today. Somebody asked you.
I did pick up some Bitcoin today.
No, but I mean, you had to pick up a future today. So you had to pick up a contract for the next 6 months at
VBX
6,300. 6,300. Are you buying it? Are you buying one Bitcoin a month for $6,300 for the next 6 months?
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Because I still think we still haven't shaken off all the weak hands, and I still think we just have a longer time of consolidation here to go through.
I'm not picking up 6,300 a month.
You think it's going to go lower?
Just assume that.
I just don't. I don't know that it will go lower, but
it sure sounds like you're bearish.
Obviously, I don't have $6,300 to throw in every month, though. I mean,
if money's not an option, that's not the question.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if money wasn't an option, I probably would.
I think the question is, do you think it'd be a good bet?
Well, no. I mean, think about no. I want money to be an option. I want you to think about a real average global citizen.
Well, I mean, I think if you look at it in terms of what you should be investing, you should be investing what, like 10% of your income, potentially. Let's just say. No,
bro, I'm buying a 2-year CD and I'm getting 0.025.
Of that, I would probably be investing 3% into cryptocurrencies. And then of that, I'm probably investing 1% into Bitcoin. I'm probably doing 2% in Bitcoin, 1% in other coins. So, if I'm taking $6,300 out of my overall income, then really I'm only putting, maybe $100 in Bitcoin a month.
Yeah. I mean, I think the like with Bakkt in the futures contracts, I think it's aimed more towards security for institutional investors than your average retail investor, because it gives them ability where they don't have to worry about wallets and cold storage of the keys and all this kind of stuff. They just sign a contract for it, and Bakkt takes care of the legwork. And because they're U.S. regulated, institutional investors will feel a lot safer doing that. And I think if it does convince some institutional investors to get involved, then it's more likely the ETF gets approved somewhere in 2019. But I mean, a lot of people don't realize that this bear market might last for years. This might be just like 2014. I mean, that was what, a 2-year bear market. This might be longer than that. It's the hard truth. Everybody wants to say, quarter 4. Everybody was saying quarter 3, 2018. That's when it's going to come back up. Now it's quarter 4, 2018. That's when it's going to come. Now it's 2019. Early 2019 is going to be the time when Bitcoin does that bull run. So everybody's anticipating like the next bull run with all the speculation. But I mean, you still have to have that in the back of your mind that this could be a multi-year bear market like it was years ago.
You should just set up like 10 news aggregate websites with like totally different addresses, and each of them will predict the Bitcoin bull run in the consecutive quarter, and then whichever one is right, you just lean on that one, and you're like, here we are, we predicted the bull run.
We're prophets, the greatest traders, greatest investment advice ever.
Crypto news aggregate.
I know. I think that's why
.com.
Really the only way is to just DCA Bitcoin. Don't worry about it.
I'm all about DCA Bitcoin, bro.
When the bulls finally do arrive, you won't really care because you've been DCAing the whole damn time during this bear market.
Fucking out, squirreling out.
Yep.
Getting you a squirrel.
Saving up for the winter.
Yeah.
So how about the stock market? Man, it's been a while. It was a wild October, wasn't it?
Hey,
yeah, but it's right before the election. I'm not really that worried about it, honestly.
So right before we came on, we were talking about the Myers-Briggs personality test, and I've been taking it as we were talking.
We're doing a podcast, and you're taking a personality test.
Well, I've been on the podcast as well.
This is like the girl from the Kavanaugh hearings, and she was like, "So you took a lie detector test
during
the day of your mom's funeral?"
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was cool. I took it in the hotel room. Like, oh, okay, whatever.
Y'all didn't know. Obviously, you don't know because it was before the show. But Heston was compared to Robin Williams and someone else.
And Michael Scott.
Michael Scott.
Yeah. There was a bunch of other people, but those were two.
I got Weird Al Yankovic.
So what were you?
Mark Twain, Thomas Edison, Celine Dion, a debater, which doesn't sound right.
What's the
acronym at the end though?
The acronym. I don't know if I took a real one.
No, yeah, you did. Was it 16personalities.com?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll say the debater and then
debater ENTP.
ENTP what? Dash
-A-T.
Okay. So that means you're also assertive and turbulent. I mean, if you got to read a lot about it, but
well, there's obviously no one more assertive and turbulent than Prater.
Yeah. Well, it's minus assertive and minus.
Whoa,
turbulent.
calm down, bro.
I don't know if that means minus or not.
Assertive and turbulent.
But if you really read about it, I mean, at least for mine, it's never going to be perfect, but there were some accurate things about it.
I was literally talking about this with my family today at dinner. All of these, literally, it's crazy that you actually brought up Myers-Briggs. We were talking about Miller Hyman, and there's 4 or 5 companies out there that do this. Yes, it's called Miller Hyman.
I got Jim Halpert.
Why do they pick? I don't understand that. Why do they pick fake people?
And the Joker.
I don't know.
And how are both of you a character from The Office?
Yeah,
Tyron
well,
Lannister.
it's just for.
They're doing it from all different shows.
It's just
because you got. I got Batman, the Batman series, Game of Thrones, Alias, The Arrow, and I'm Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future.
Yeah, this is like
one of the girls that I was with that took that the other day. She must have been the same exact thing because all the characters you listed, she was listening to the same.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Garbage.
And this is obviously legit and 100%.
It reminds me of
accurate.
You guys ever watch that show, the New Jersey Medium or whatever?
No. I've heard of it.
My wife watches that show.
I've heard of it.
I don't know if it's still on, but like she'd like just be in an airport and just like give somebody a psychic thing, and then like, oh my god, like you talked to my cousin whose name was or was not started with an A. That's so crazy.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. It's just the same thing as
somebody in your family.
It's the same thing as horoscopes. It's just you're going to make it generalized enough that it would kind of fit anybody, certain parts of it will kind of fit anybody. So yeah, it's just how it works. I mean, you're going to find similarities in whatever you read.
Yeah, okay. Look, I'm going to pull it up right now. Today's horoscope, free horoscope, astrology.com. I'm going to pick I'm a Virgo, but I'm going to pick Aries. Why? Cuz it's the first one. All right. It says you simply shouldn't take negative things seriously today. Any metaphorical stop signs, refusals, brick walls, or red lights are not the end of the world. They're simply annoyances that you must ignore. Give things another try. Well, I love how specific they are. Give things another try. Figure out a new route. Maybe there's something you haven't thought of. Chances are someone who's been down the road before has some excellent insight. So why don't you drop them an email and find out what advice they have for you? That's great advice. Fortunately, I'm not a fucking Aries.
It's so specific.
I'm a Virgo. Let's read Virgo. Let's just see if this is frustrating to be speaking the truth and still be doubted. Sing it, sister. But you must have the patience to wait for other people to come around to your way of thinking. Just stay consistent and make it clear that you respect what other people think, no matter how wrong it is.
Whoever thought that we'd be reading horoscopes on Decentralized Talk?
The bear market. That's who thought this.
Those damn bears. They're getting us from every angle.
There's a big, hairy, homosexual man who's very angry about this.
So, I mean, the stock market, it had, one of the worst months in years. So, why do you think it's just the election coming up, midterms?
Well, the stock market is in retrograde with the Aries moon right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Gemini.
I mean, I think there's a bunch of reasons why the stock market's where it is, and a lot has to do with uncertainty around the trade issues right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think China is actually trying to kind of fight back. Everybody else faked like they were going to fight back. Europe faked like they were going to fight back. South Korea faked like they were going to fight back.
I mean, I'm heavily invested in Chinese stocks right now, and they're all over.
Just say it. It's Alibaba.
Oh yeah, I have Alibaba. I have Baidu. I have JD. I have what else? I've got some other ones as well. But I mean, they're all over the place. One day they're up, one day they're down. They're just nobody really knows. And I mean, my portfolio's taken quite a hit recently, but it's been volatile than it's been down.
Yeah, I know. For the month of October, Bitcoin was less volatile than the S&P 500.
Yeah, I mean, the VVX has been all over.
When did you ever think that would happen?
That the what was more volatile than what?
The stock market. The stock market was more volatile than Bitcoin.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, look, Trump's big thing is the economy. That's his big thing, right? So you can talk about, so if let's just say you're on the other side.
I thought it was immigration or something.
No, the economy is obviously the number one issue.
Okay. I'll take you. I think you said it in one of the last episodes. You were like, "I'll take any chance to bring it back to politics," and you were right on the money there. But go on.
That's true. Because I think everything is politics now. It used to be, football was America's sport, but now it's politics, and it's true.
Football's still American sport.
No, it's an American sport. It's not America's sport of choice.
Well, I don't. Who watches? Who? Okay, I can't agree with you there. Do more people watch the Super Bowl, or do more people watch the presidential election?
Let's find out. Predator, will you look that up?
It's not
Yeah,
even
but it's
comparable.
football.
Yeah, it's not even going to be comparable. It's definitely
Americans.
the Super Bowl.
Americans, not globally.
Obviously Americans. Yes, but it's it's not even going to be comparable.
In fact, I remember the presidential debates beating out Monday Night Football. Because people are more and more passionate. They're getting entrenched in both sides.
Well, it's because the country is completely divided more than it's ever been, I think. Or, I mean, not more than it's ever been. There was a civil
But that's not
war.
because you're just saying the same thing. I said the country's entrenched on both sides. You said that's because they're divided. But that's the same. That's redundant.
No, I think the voter turnout is so high because the country's so divided.
Yeah, I mean, but that's so. This is like, and the crazy thing is, this is what leads up to like things like a civil war in other countries and in our country in the past. It's people get fully entrenched in their side, and then eventually it becomes fuck you, and the dialogue is lost, and then people go into their comfort spaces and they talk amongst themselves and people that feel the same way as they do, and then when they come out of that space and they see somebody else that feels differently.
So the presidential debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump had approximately 84 million viewers, which does beat Monday Night Football on an average weekly basis. Monday Night Football receives about 10 to 12 million viewers weekly.
Okay, so just to be clear,
That being said,
it just didn't beat the average weekly. It beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, but it's every
Super
4
Bowl-
years.
like
the
the sevenfold.
Super Bowl
You're talking about an occurrence
destroyed
that happens
them.
every 4 years compared to something that happens every Monday for 8 months out of the year.
Now,
Okay.
they had 84 million. The
4 months
Super
out of the year.
Bowl had 115 million.
Okay, so the difference between the Super Bowl and Trump is
About 40 million.
about 15%.
Yeah.
So, not that much.
I don't know, 15%.
100, I mean.
Where
well,
else?
actually,
Where else
yeah.
would you qualify 15% as being like a lot? You're like, oh shit, 15%.
Well, I mean, there's only 20 million people at least.
In the terms of this conversation.
I mean,
Yeah, for this conversation.
50%.
So-
50% discount at Kohl's is pretty good.
First of all, 15% discount at Kohl's mean you got ripped off because you should be getting 30 or 40% off at Kohl's. You should
I
be
hear
doubling up
what
with
you're
cards.
saying. A lot of people are into politics right now because
More people are into politics today than probably have been in a long time.
Okay.
I would have never guessed that 84 million people were watching the presidential debate. I'll give you that for sure. I wouldn't have guessed that it would have beat Monday Night Football, to be completely honest with you.
Not only that it beat it, but it sevenfold beat it.
Where
but you have to take into account Monday Night Football is a weekly thing that's not going to get the viewer count.
No,
You know,
look,
you have
there's
to
also
compare.
You guys are-
there's also
you guys are
Sunday night
totally-
football and Thursday night.
I wouldn't have
football.
guessed that it would have even compared to Super Bowl viewer ratings.
right, but it
Yeah.
certainly did compare.
Yeah, it did. It it was.
And
it
let's
was
just be clear:
in the
what
realm.
beats the Super Bowl?
nothing.
Okay, so it's close and compares to Super Bowl ratings.
Yeah.
So I mean, the idea that anybody would say like, oh, it's kind of a big deal. No, it's fucking huge. It's fucking
Well, and the Super Bowl is actually
think
down
that's,
substantially
I
over
think
the last
that's
few
just-
years.
I don't know what we originally got into,
Yeah,
but
I
the
don't either.
point
You
is-
said economy. You like Trump's big thing is economy.
Okay, yeah.
And
So
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, yeah, Jack Sparrow was not even doing. Did you hear that they kicked Jack Sparrow off?
Yeah, well, he's got a little crazy. He's gone a little crazy, Johnny Depp.
He said he was going to kill the president. Remember?
He did.
What?
Fuck yeah! He was like, "When was the last time that an actor?" He's not even British. He's like, "When was the last
Yeah.
time that an actor killed the president?" Maybe it's time for an
Lincoln.
actor to kill the president again.
Well, I don't know. That's
That would have been Lincoln, wouldn't it have?
sounds like a legitimate question. When was the last time that Was
Yeah,
he
it
an
was
actor?
John Wilkes Booth. It was John
John
Wilkes Booth.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's kind of a good, interesting.
Been a
question.
while.
Yeah, but I think the great irony is I just went to DC recently, and when I was there, I went to Ford's Theater, and so we had like a whole like the Park Service does like a full like a retelling of the story and like where the president sat, and you get to see it, and you get to. They didn't let us walk up there in the little. What is it called? The little booth that he's in, whatever it is. It's like a little cutout.
Shit.
Luxury suite.
Luxury suite, yeah, like a luxury suite. Yeah, we'll call it that. Luxury. I was looking for
Balcony.
like the top level, mezzanine,
Murder cabin.
mezzanine,
Stabbing cabin.
shades of green, smell like R. Kelly's sheets.
Piss.
So,
It's been the most drawn out point ever. I think we started on the stock market. I think we were talking about the stock
yeah,
market.
well, okay, but let me make my point then. Yo, but can I finish? I'm gonna let you finish. So, the point is, he made this correlation between an actor killing the president, and the interesting thing to me is that when I learned more about John Wilkes Booth, he was a white supremacist. He was for the South. He killed Lincoln. Lincoln was for freeing the slaves.
Mm-hmm.
And so the last guy who killed the president, was a socialist and a communist, and he was an actor, and he was very famous. And he actually has a lot of similarities with Johnny Depp. All these apply to Johnny Depp from an ideological perspective and from like a vocational perspective. And also, so he was a white supremacist, and he was very much for slavery and very much for kind of states' rights, states' ability to determine whether or not a state would be a slave state or not. And he was this huge anti-abolitionist movement person. He would pass out flyers, and he would like do plays and talk about this and all this kind of stuff. And so that's who it was. The guy who killed the president who freed the slaves was an actor, a famous actor at the time, and a socialist and a communist. So, I mean, you can disagree, but
That was the
Facts
point
don't-
of all that.
facts
That
don't
started
lie.
on the stocks was about Johnny Depp.
no. Well, I mean, we just kind of got. I guess we got on a tangent, but okay. So, from a stock perspective, I think that you'll notice
Johnny
the biggest
Depp
stocks,
will,
that are
crash.
down are what? What are the biggest stocks that are down right now? Tech stocks, right? It's Nasdaq.
Yeah, the thing.
So tech stocks are notorious for being super liberal. And I'm not picking a side here. I'm not saying Trump or not Trump or liberal or conservative or whatever. But it's
So you think the
Cupertino,
the
California.
drop in stock markets is politically motivated?
I don't know, man.
Absolutely.
You look at the
I
some
think
of the
it's
oil
because-
stocks have
I think
taken.
it's because they're incredibly overvalued.
I trade some options on
Yeah.
Chesapeake, and that took a hit. It follows the oil index pretty well, and it got murdered. And oil stocks are extremely what's the opposite of liberal? Conservative.
Yeah. Some are tied to the Middle East, OPEC. But I think that there's a strong case to be made that in midterm election years and in presidential election years in October, stock markets for Republicans in office in midterm election years and presidential federal election years, there's a dip. There's a decrease, and for Trump, it hurts him the worst. It's the easiest way to hurt Trump because that's his. At the end of the day, you can make fun of him for being a bully, or you can make fun of him for being a sexist, or a pig, or a racist, or hateful, or a hate monger, or whatever you want to call him.
A lot of hate there.
What do you say?
So there's a lot of hate there.
There's a lot of hate there. Yeah, I know, that's the great irony. You can hate him for whatever you want, but it's really hard to say, and he's screwing up the economy. Well, not really. It's unemployment. Black unemployment is the lowest it's ever been in history. Hispanic unemployment is the lowest it's ever been in history. Female employment is the lowest it's been in like 80 years. The economy is booming, and you can make the argument that Obama set it up or whatever you want to do, but you can't with a straight face say that Trump is fucking up the economy. And if the stock market crashes, then that's a significant way to take that away. Now, I'm not saying conspiracy theory, like all these Cupertino companies and these Southern California companies are like in a conspiracy to try to smash Trump.
Well, you know, I read an article a while back, and I wish I could find it again, that talked about how the stock market actually goes up when after presidents that are detrimental to the stock market, and then declines in presidential terms that are productive for the stock market, which is kind of contradictory to what you would think. So, like, after, in theory, after Obama leaves, who you would think would be detrimental in terms of the stock market after the, you know, kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? The term, or not the term,
Regulatory environment
that you would see for big business, you would think that it would go down, but usually it goes up. And then with Trump in office, with, you know, the regulatory environment that you would see with him, it would drive the stock market down, which is kind of contradictory to what you would think would happen. But it's, I don't know.
So let me ask you this. So we did a whole show on whales, and I had both of you guys were, and everybody, it was kind of like everybody versus me on whales are totally affecting the market. Whales are totally affecting the stock market. It's always convenient for whales to affect the stock market. It's always whales. But when somebody floats the idea that whales are affecting the market to influence the election, which makes total sense. I mean, honestly, if there's one thing that a whale could influence, and they could influence the election, why wouldn't they? That's the main thing that they would influence, right? They would kind of, they would hedge their bet on power.
The whales do influence the election. That's what big business is all over it.
Fucking government, bro.
God, I hate government. I don't even know why we're talking about this. It's like my least favorite thing. Politicians and the government.
Yeah, it is fucked up because capitalism has been corrupted, and it's crony capitalism, and it's a mixture of these progressive Republicans.
I disagree with the two-party system or the three-party system. What is it? Is it Portugal who has, you can have as many parties as you want?
You can have as many parties as you want in America. They're just,
yeah, you can.
Yeah, but really,
but can you?
I mean, realistically,
there's like 17 parties that you can vote on in a Portugal election or something.
You can't get the funding unless you're in the two major parties.
Exactly. They murder you.
So it. I mean, you can say you can have as many parties as you want, but I mean, that's not reality.
No, I totally agree. It's not. Practically, you can only have two parties. But yeah, I mean, you know, legally or whatever, you can have as many parties as you want. Yes. But I mean, you know, there's not one big whale out there manipulating the parties either. You know, the people,
shark.
People go out there. People are voting for who they want to vote for. They're going and pulling the trigger for who they want to vote for, and they're you know, one thing they should do, I think it would be really helpful. They should get rid of party line voting. You know, where you just go into the room and you're like, I want to vote straight Republican ticket. I want to break straight Democrat ticket. You don't know the fuck you're voting for. You don't know what you're doing. That's a scam. You should not be able to do that.
They should also do away with what are they called? The people, lobbyists. Should just knock out lobbyists. No more lobbyists.
Oh yeah, political action committees. Well, while we're on the subject of presidents and politics, have you heard John McAfee's new slogan for when he runs for president the second time?
Crypto everything or something like that?
No, don't vote for John McAfee. That's going to be his campaign slogan.
Reverse psychology. You got me, John.
He said,
God, I'm voting for him.
he said, quote, "No one's going to elect me president, please God."
Did y'all see that tweet I put out that had the odds for the presidential election?
I don't think so.
It was a while back. It was probably about a month
Yeah,
ago.
I was gonna say,
But it had Eminem and the
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, I did see that. Eminem,
Eminem and The
Rock.
Rock had better odds of winning than old Paul and than a few like legitimate like presidential candidates.
it's probably going to
Presidential
be
cannabis.
somebody fucking.
Can-
It's going to be somebody ridiculous like The Rock. Like that's where our country's going, man. It's going to be The Rock
Eminem,
or-
could you imagine?
or Kim Kardashian. In like 10 years, Kim Kardashian's going to be president.
No, I think that's
And-
cynical. I don't think that's real. I think because people try to assume that because what happens
Maybe
is
The
people try to make Trump out to be a reality star. That's like
Well,
that's the way you can
Wait a
diminish.
minute. Is that not
No.
literally what he was before he was president?
He was
But he's also a
a
businessman.
reality star, but before that, he was a real estate billionaire in New York. So,
Well,
I mean, it's kind of fucked up not to like count that in there.
but you can't say
That's like saying
gotta make
that's
him.
like saying,
you
okay,
can't-
well, like at one point in your life, you worked at a sandwich shop. I know because I worked at the same fucking shop.
Yeah. So if people
They-
say,
So
And-
if you became a billionaire, a real estate billionaire, and you were
and
like
people
wrote
said
a
I
best-selling,
was a
and you
sandwich
wrote a-
shop guy,
yeah, and people were
then
like,
they were
hey,
they were
Hesto,
right.
Hesto, he's a sandwich shop guy, and you're like, no,
Hey.
I've done so much more than that in my life.
No,
you're like,
They made good
they
sandwiches.
were literally right though,
Yeah,
because I
What
was
if
a
they said
sandwich
you-
guy.
are a sandwich shop
New
guy.
York sub guys, amazing sandwiches.
That's the difference. Yeah, we worked at New York Sub, which is no longer around, which is really sad. It's actually,
Yeah.
but but so I mean, it would just obviously wouldn't be fair if everybody characterized you as like you're a New York Sub assistant manager.
I hear what you're saying. He was also a reality TV star, but
Right, he's
not
also-
just a reality TV
Right.
star.
And so but we all do that to everybody else. We do that to people. I mean, politicians do that to people to try to. You know, the fucked up thing is about politics. This just really drives me crazy.
Man,
You know
this
what
episode
grinds me
really
crazy?
took a turn for the politics.
You brought it up.
Did I? I think I was
Literally,
talking about
you
the stock.
literally brought it up.
I'm
You
pretty
literally
sure
were like,
that I was
look,
talking
hey,
about the
every time
stock.
this turns into politics, and I was like, okay, well, fuck it. Let's go.
I'm pretty sure I was talking about the stock market, and you said it was politically motivated, and then that's when we.
Well, I said that there's a possibility that the whales who are motivated. Look, you don't have to pick a side, Republican or Democrat.
I don't.
But
Libertarian.
or yeah, exactly. I'm a libertarian. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm
I
a
don't-
registered libertarian.
I
So
also don't vote, so people are gonna probably get mad at me about that.
I tried to vote. I tried to vote in downtown Austin, and it was like really awkward. I waited in line for like 20 minutes.
Dude.
I don't live in Austin. I work in Austin.
I tried to vote and they got mad at me. Like I wasn't a registered voter because I moved. I'd say recently. It's probably about 5 years ago, but I never, I never re-registered my move, and I went in to vote. And well, it would have been about 4 years because it would have been right around the primaries. And they were extremely rude to me. So I was like, "Screw y'all, I'm leaving." You know, it's like,
Dude,
Okay.
it was
Political
really
system.
weird.
Tell me why.
exactly.
Tell me why every time I go vote, it's like a lady that just turned 103 yesterday, handing me a paper, and she doesn't understand how the machine works, and she's just confused to be alive at this point. Like every time.
That's really, I think that's really fucked up. These people are volunteering their time. They're not getting paid.
That's true, but why is
They're
why are they
literally-
always so old? I'm not
Because
saying
they
it's a
don't
bad
have
thing.
jobs, because
the
they're
people,
retired.
the people
and they
that
care
I
about
were to
the
vote
country.
with weren't old. They were just extremely rude.
This lady wasn't rude or nice. She was just there.
There,
Yeah, she was still
barely
breathing.
there.
She was breathing.
they were basically like, "Oh, you're not registered? Get the fuck out of here."
I
Yeah,
think-
that's kind of what
I
happened to
think the
me. They're
real
like, honey, you're not in this county, and
I
I'm
think-
like,
yeah.
no, I know, but it's a. I'm like, I'm early voting though, so
You can vote anywhere.
I should be able to vote anywhere. And she's like, no, not here. And then I was about to be like, fucking Rosa Parks. I was about to fucking stand. I mean, for like, I'm serious, for like a
I'm
half
on the
second.
back of the bus.
Yeah, for about a half second, I was like, I'm fucking standing here. I don't care. And I looked around. I was like, really like a lot of pressure. People looking at me. I was like, oh, okay, all right, thanks. Well, I'll just figure it out. See ya. I slept. I was like, fuck. But it turned out I was wrong. By the way, it turned out I was wrong. You
Well,
can't.
then you probably made the right decision.
You have to vote in your
County.
Yeah, you don't have to
vote in
vote
your
at your
precinct.
specific polling place,
right.
but you can vote. You have to vote in your county. Yeah.
You have to vote in your county, and I was in the wrong county, so they were right. So I'm glad I didn't make a scene.
Well,
I'm glad I didn't compare myself to Rosa Parks on a national.
I'm
CNN
Rosa
broadcast.
Parks right now. That would have been really good. I'm Rosa Parks right now.
I am Spartacus.
but to bring this back around, the
Please do.
stock market it has nothing to do with what we've talked about.
Oh, if you're gonna bring it around, you got to bring it.
There's no bringing
You
it.
just say this.
We got off topic. Way off topic.
You know what else
All right,
goes
to
up
bring
and
this full
down?
circle, the stock market.
There is no circle. Pi is 3.14.
Dun dun dun.
Do you know that? I don't remember his name.
What the hell just happened? You waited to make this segue, and then
That was a hard segue too.
And then it was
curved us off on a full right angle.
It was stock markets. There was this guy.
Oh,
Oh.
you know that Archimedes actually calculated
I don't
the
even know what it
circumference
is going.
of circles before pi was invented.
No, I did not. know that.
And before the concept of zero.
There's a
So he was doing math before it's like
math was
a thing.
Yeah, but wouldn't they have the concept of zero when, like, the caveman was like, "How many items of food do you have?" And he's like, "I don't have
He's
any."
like, I have none.
Yeah,
How many wives do you have left? Well, after this clubbing, zero.
But basically, Archimedes was a boss.
Yeah. No shit. Where did
Sorry. That was
Talk
taking
about
us
useless
back.
facts.
Full circle
you?
there.
That's not even a
Full
useless
circle.
fact. That's an
Full
interesting fact.
circle, 360 degrees, 3.14.
Yeah, it brings it right back around the stock market and
Exactly.
politics.
There is no concept of zero in the stock market.
You guys want to hear my argument for lobbyists?
Not really. Not on this episode. We're running out of
Quick.
time. Well, we've already been going for an hour and 20 minutes.
Next week we talk about
Next week we'll talk about government, politics the entire time. We're just gonna. It's just gonna
Yeah.
be
Tune in
called
next week where we talk about government, politics, and lobbyists.
the Decentralized
Freedom.
Talk Political Trump Show.
You can talk about Bernie if you want. How he lost to Hillary.
Good one.
If you want to.
if you want to.
I don't.
You want to talk about how he's going to die soon?
No.
He's old.
He is old.
He's actually older than that lady that was like helping you vote.
No, he's not. How much older is he than Trump?
Like, he's like Trump's grandfather.
Are you kidding me? Trump's 72.
And Bernie is like 88.
98.
How old's Bernie?
77. He's only 5 years older.
God, he looks so much worse.
70, yeah, but dude,
I don't agree. I
4
don't agree.
years.
Trump
A
is like
presidential term is 4 years.
it's 5 years.
Yeah.
I think that Trump would look just as old if it wasn't for all the cosmetic work that he has done.
I'll give you that.
At the bottom of it all, he's very overweight. Bernie's not. You know?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to push back on that one too.
They're
You think
both
Bernie's,
old.
Bernie's pretty slim guy?
And neither look
No,
as
I
good
wouldn't
as
say
Pete
he's
Carroll.
slim. I wouldn't say he's slim. I would not say he's obese like Trump is.
You think Trump is obese?
He's in that category, yes.
Pete Carroll's older than both of them and looks better than both.
All right. Let's bust it out.
Find out, what is Trump's BMI?
Trump is 6'3".
Trump's 6'3"?
Oh yeah, dude.
Did not know that.
He's tall as fuck. That's why it was a big deal at the debates. Let's go back full circle. It was a big deal at debates because everybody was like, "Oh, he's gonna tower over Hillary," so he had to like stand way back and like lean back and stuff, so that people didn't accuse him of like leaning over her.
So for somebody 6'3", at his age, obese would be 239 pounds, and he's 269 pounds.
Okay. 239 pounds is obese for a 6'3" guy.
The ideal
Not if you're
the ideal weight
in.
for 6'3" is 176 to 216 pounds.
6'3", you're 176?
It sounds
Bro.
odd in America. I know that. But that's because 86% of Americans are overweight.
Well, it's because 86% of Americans don't give a fuck what people think about them. They just eat what they want.
Yeah, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, if it's your personal life, it's a good thing. But if you're worried about what other people think, it's a bad thing.
Or what about you're worried about your health?
Yeah, but what if – that's what I'm saying. Like, what if your health is not – like, okay, so for instance, I know a guy who smokes cigarettes rampantly. And he's old. He's in his late – he's like 65. And I'm like, hey, man, you need to quit smoking. You need to quit smoking cigarettes. It's bad for your health. And he pointed out to me, he's like, dude, I'm older already than lots of people who have died. He's like, I see obituaries all the time. People I went to high school with.
Terrible argument.
That's a great argument. The point is, he's saying, I want to smoke. I don't give a fuck. If I die, it's my own life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
I can get if you don't care about your health, then that is your business. It's your
yes. So why is it the government's job, or why is it somebody else's job?
I never said that. I never said that. All I said was that 86% of Americans are overweight.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because 86% of Americans
they don't care about their health.
They are. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no, they're not comfortable with who they are. That's a whole different argument. That's a psychology argument. But
okay, yeah, no, you make a good point. So 86%,
but they don't care about their health. Yes,
care less about their health than they do other things. They would rather have X, Y, and Z than their health.
Yeah, to me that's.
But
impressive.
I would also like to point out. I think that one of the big problems is that health is like your health. That's relative. That you can go back 20 years ago and find articles about how salt will give you cancer, and then 18 years ago about how salt is important in your diet, and then you can go back 15 years ago and then salt will kill you, and then salt is good for you and salt is bad. Same thing with wine. Wine will kill you. Wine will give you cancer. Wine is great for you. It's got antioxidants. It's why the Italian people are overweight, but they have such great long lives, because they eat a lot of olive oil and wine. And it's garbage. I can tell you from somebody who worked in the medical device industry, who worked in the medical industry and sold products to surgeons and other doctors, family practice doctors, on a daily basis. You can find a medical document and you can find a paper written by Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Georgetown alum, and it can say whatever the fuck you want it to say. Say whatever you can say, against it, for it. Vegan diet is the best. All protein diet is the best. I mean, think about those. That's a perfect example right now. The paleo diet is one of the most like one of the biggest hot diets right now. Paleo diet, basically nothing but fucking meat and green vegetables. And then at the same time, the vegan movement, the vegetarian movement is very popular right now. And both movements have so much evidence on both their sides. They both have lots of evidence. And nobody stops to take a look and say that maybe both of them are pushing an agenda. And both of them at some point get emotionally involved, and then it turns into, you've got to be all no meat. Or you've got to be all meat.
What if those are just two schools of thought, and both of them are more healthy than eating fast food and just junk?
I think there's an argument that they're probably healthier than eating.
The real argument is consciousness of what you're putting in your body. You know, whether it's only meat or it's no meat or it's just
but you'll never find someone from either one of those sides to say that.
Found me, I don't eat meat.
I do eat meat.
I don't know. It wasn't always like that.
But if you really dug into it, you would say you do believe that the what is it, the LDLs associated with meat are worse for you. They're bad for you. They kill you. meat is essentially bad for you. We're not omnivores.
Or
No, I don't
actually
think. No,
vegetarian.
I don't think it's necessarily bad for you. No,
You
no.
disagree
I just
more
I
with
just think
the
it's
process.
unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary. I don't think because your body doesn't have to eat meat to survive or be a
we're
great
obviously
body.
omnivores, but
No, Hesto does not believe we're omnivores.
No, I don't. No, I don't believe we're omnivores. I think we've become
scavengers.
omnivores. Well, we used to be back when we were scavengers, but now
Right,
we
so
can
this
just go
is
to
my
HEB
point.
and get
This is
whatever
my
food
point.
we want.
None of us
Now
know
we
what the fuck we're
choose-
talking about.
we
None of
choose-
us know. We're
we
all
choose
just
to be
you're all just
omnivores
like
still, but
citing
we're not-
random articles and things. That nobody fucking knows anything anymore. Everybody cites random articles, and you can find 50 articles that will totally prove your point.
I'm not even
anything.
citing an article. This is just what I believe. I believe that we used to be forced to be omnivores because we would have to hunt our food. We would have to, gather our food, all that stuff. Now, everything's mass produced. You don't have to do all that. You can go to HEB and get whatever you want. So
Exactly.
now at this point, it's a choice. It's a choice to eat something that you
Yeah,
don't
but why would your body genetically your gut tract? Why would it process vegetables better than meat because of something to do with the food supply chain?
Yeah, but I mean, we are omnivores because history has proven that that's what we were. Because we're scavengers. We were. Obviously, we're not anymore, but that is, and we can evolve into something different. But throughout history, that is what the human species was.
True. And I just think we're at an age now where we don't have to be anymore, and it's a choice.
But I always thought you more disagreed with the process of
that's the main thing. Yeah, it's the mass farming is really
if you
Yeah,
were
but
to
you
go
don't eat
out,
a chicken.
the health aspect is an aspect of it too.
That's pretty dope. Well,
All right. Well, that was a bunch of random nonsense, guys. I had fun.
there's a lot of random nonsense. I hope it was interesting. I hope you guys send us some
At least entertaining.
letters about how stupid I am for being a Trump supporter and how idealistic Hesto is for being a Bernie supporter,
actually, Linda's now 293. It broke out of the 300 as we were doing the podcast.
and how smart I am for choosing Linda, bitches. So with that being said, do your own research. Take a look at where we are. We're at a bear point. The odds of us continuing to be in a bear point become lower the longer that we're in it. You guys keep it greasy. Don't be sleazy. And don't make it too easy. Stay decent, cryptos.